Start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
I can already tell it's going to be one of those days. First day of work after the old daylight savings, spring forward. It's going to be one of those. I got stuck at the gate, right, at the parking structure.
Sure.
Couldn't find my keys to get in the door. You know, the little boop.
Do you have your keys? Because last time this happened, you then found your keys after you got into the studio.
No, I searched and searched. So because I traveled on Friday, I take my keys, I put them in my backpack. I guarantee my keys are in my backpack. But that's neither here nor there. Then I dropped my breakfast sandwich again.
Where'd you drop it this time?
In the hallway.
Yeah. See ya.
No, you can eat that.
It's going to be one of those days. Although you
Have
could
we
argue...
considered a sealed container for the
Of
sandwich?
course we have, Joshy. Of course we have considered it.
We thought lessons were learned the last time.
I'm just asking questions.
Lessons were obviously not.
Again, it's going to be one of those days.
Sometimes you got to learn lessons, the hard way 2 or 3 times.
Aren't key fobs dead technology?
What do you want them to do? Scan my eyeballs?
No, fingerprint. No?
I would kill for a fingerprint entrance to this building, you guys.
That's
People were already uncomfortable with the Bluetooth-enabled thing we have. So I think collecting biometric data for work is probably not on the top of the list.
Okay.
Will it happen eventually? Almost certainly.
Why were people uncomfortable with the cell phone boop?
Because you're putting an app on your phone that is tracking your location at all times and signifying to you.
Every app does that.
well, yeah, but now your work can
now it's
directly
your work.
track you.
I love that he said every app does that.
It does.
He's the least technologically savvy of the group, and even he knows that.
He's aware. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Big weekend for the Green Bay Packers. Where to begin? Well, I suppose we should begin with the guy that they signed. Sean Rhyan is going to continue being a member of the Green Bay Packers, but as the center going forward. And we were talking about this a little bit this morning in the production meeting. This was sort of the hand that was forced upon the Green Bay Packers based on everything else that was happening in the center market, the number that guys were going for. And the way I read it, Gabe, is they had a guy. He played some snaps, not a lot of snaps at the position, but he played them well enough to give them confidence that he could be the answer there instead of going out and trying to find somebody in what is a pretty thin market.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly played center better than Elton Jenkins did, right? I mean, he was better than Elton, and he'll have an entire offseason to work at that position now. And, yeah, the center market just kind of exploded overnight. Started with Tyler Biadasz, who ended up getting 3 years, $30 million in free agency from the Chargers. So he gets released, then gets a pay raise. Never good for if you're looking to get a cheap solution at that position when somebody gets released and then they get a pay raise. And then I think the Bills panicked because their center, Connor McGovern, was somebody that just a couple weeks ago said, haven't had any contact with the Bills. I guess I'm gone. All right, he's getting ready for free agency, and then snap your fingers, he gets a big-time deal from the Bills because I think they realized what was coming at that position as well. They locked up their guy, then the Packers decided we've got to lock up our guy to the tune of 3 years, $33 million, maybe up to $39 million. But at least that solidifies what your offensive line is going to be because they also restructured Aaron Banks' contract. So he's going to be here not just for 26, but more than likely 27. But at least now you have your starting offensive line intact, and you can go into the offseason and into the legal tampering period and the draft process now needing just depth pieces along the offensive line instead of actual starters in your lineup.
You like the move, Chew? You think he had enough experience there to convince you he is the center of the future?
I was a little surprised at the money. I almost would have rather had Biadasz, who was actually cheaper. I mean, he's older, but he's been a Pro Bowl player. But you think if Jenkins never gets hurt and plays the season at center, you think they re-sign Ryan as a guard? Because I don't.
No, he wasn't as good at guard. He was better at center.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, he was better at center.
I mean, because they fell into that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they did because Elton got hurt. Yep.
Also, their draft pick stunk too.
That didn't help. Yeah.
So there was
So yeah, double whammy. Yeah.
right. They sort of ended up in a position where it ended up being almost favorable because if Elton stayed healthy, they didn't know Sean Rhyan could play center that well. Now we're paying buku bucks to get ourselves a center in here.
Or you're rolling the dice on a rookie
on a draft,
and you feel like almost pressure that you're in the second or third round. You've got to get a center.
Yes.
But now you got to start backfilling backups.
Sure.
Like who's the backup left tackle? Who's the backup center?
Yep.
I don't think they love Monk.
Yeah,
he
obviously
hasn't shown enough. So
yeah, you've got to start
know.
backfilling there. But I mean, it prevents it from being a huge hole, right? Of oh crap, we need a starter and we need to have some backups at these positions.
So we had talked about, guys, headed into last week, how offensive line, I know, Gabe, you were very high on this, was a major issue that they needed to shore up, that they needed to address. Does this sufficiently address it? Beyond what Chewy said about now adding depth for backups, are you confident in the offensive line they have constructed for 2026, 2027?
I like the 5 they have. But again, it's not offensive line, and Chew, you know this. The offensive line is more than just the 5. You're going to have injuries. Mm-hmm. You're going to have injuries, and you need, as we saw last year, right? Like how many different guys ended up, suffering injuries for the Packers throughout the course of last season, whether it's Zach Tom at right tackle, obviously Elton at center. They've had guys that are banged up. So I don't want to make it seem like, all right, well, now you can just draft someone like in the 6th round, hopefully. No, you still need backups. You still need guys you can trust. Really good teams are lucky if they have 7 they trust. You at least have to get that 6th that you trust, right?
Yeah,
like you at least need to have the 6.
Yeah, 6 is thin.
6 is thin, but not everybody has 7, Chew, is what I'm saying, right?
No.
Like not everybody has 5.
Some teams don't have 4.
What do they have now? They have 5 right now, right?
They've got 5 that I like right now.
Well, and remember just a few weeks ago, guys, they pushed out that list of the offensive line, projected offensive lines. I think it was ESPN that did it. Maybe it was Miller. I'm not sure. But the Green Bay Packers had the worst offensive line projected headed into the 2026-2027 season of the division. This certainly shows that they are trying to significantly solidify that interior offensive line. But I still have questions about right tackle. So who's our right tackle now, Gabe? Which he's coming off the injury. We have liked what we have seen from him. Who's the guy at right guard?
Anthony Belton.
Doesn't Anthony Belton track more as a tackle?
I don't think so. He's
really?
more of a guard. They draft. I mean, he played tackle in college, but he played better at guard than he did at tackle.
Chewy, going back to something that you talk about a lot when you talk about body frame and size, this guy is a monster of a man.
He's a big dude.
6'6", right? Like, I guess when I think of 6'6", I think more tackle. And again,
there's a lot of guards like that.
I know that, again, we have talked about how the Packers love their versatility. Is he a guy who you could see in a pinch swinging out to tackle? Or you think, again, depending on how it all shakes out, we know injuries exist and whatnot. Is that something that they like for him as well?
I think he's better off this offseason going, hey, you're the right guard, work at right guard this offseason. I think he's just going to be better off.
I think he's
if they do
capable,
that.
though.
At left tackle?
No, at right tackle. I think he's
right
capable,
tackle, yeah.
but they want him to be the right guard.
Yeah.
He's a big, I mean, he's like Aaron Banks. They went size there, which they hadn't done before, and it seems like they want to keep those guys in the middle.
And then, Jim, back to the stat you gave about them having projection being the worst offensive line. Detroit seems like there's a little bit of a mutiny going on there. Because Decker, their left tackle, didn't he ask for a trade, or he wanted to?
Yeah.
I mean, they lost their center last year, which created a lot of problems. They tried to get him back, but he couldn't
tried
pass
to
a
come
physical.
back, yeah.
And now they're losing their left tackle. So,
Because they paid everyone.
Yeah.
yeah.
So everyone's looking around going, well, where's mine?
But still, their window's closing.
The Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's closing. So,
I mean,
I don't know. I
Is it
like
the
it.
Goff
I still
collapse
have
coming?
questions about left tackle, though.
I guess
he still has not shown me enough to where I'm 100% comfortable.
I like what he did at right tackle, and I think him having an entire offseason, an entire training camp playing left tackle, like he was the first round pick for a reason. Like he's talented enough to do it, and I think instead of going, well, today you are going to play left guard. Well, now today you're going to play right guard. Actually, we need you at right tackle. Right? Like, if you just have an entire offseason with Jordan Morgan going, you're the left tackle, and that's, by the way, what he has since day one in green and gold said he wanted, like, I think that I don't think he's going to be – do I think he's going to be light years better than Rasheed Walker? Probably not. But do I think he's going to be just as good, if not slightly better? I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's Brian Bulaga, who's going to join us at 8:30 today. He simply tells us he could not have played guard. Just wasn't his position. As good as Brian Bulaga was, future Packers Hall of Famer, said can't do guard. Some guys just can't do it. I do think there is some signal we saw in the preseason. Now it's preseason. But Jordan Morgan graded out as one of the best left tackles in all of the preseason. It's PFF. You can put as much as you want into it. But he's at least capable. It's not a complete disaster from what we've seen.
Yeah, and I know everybody wanted to focus when he was playing right tackle on that one snap that ended in a sack of Malik Willis at the end of the Bears game in the regular season. But he was really good up until that point. So again, I think the offensive line, while it's still a concern, it's no longer the top concern for me.
No.
Because they do at least have their starting five going into the season. Well, I mean, I guess whether or not Zach Tom's ready for the opening day and opening game in September remains to be seen because it's pretty gruesome knee injuries coming off of. So that just, again, kind of pushes you towards how much urgency you need to have and backups on that offensive line. But at least you have who you think your starting five are going to be for the majority of the season. Now you just have to continue to build around that.
Our friend Justice Mosqueda, who we obviously reference a lot, he writes great stuff on, help me out again, Gabe.
No, come on. You can do it.
Acme.
Yep.
Packing.
There we go.
Company.
There we go.
.com. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, I just like to vary up the thing and say, hey, Gabe, fill in the blank here for me. Okay, back to me. But in this instance, I was able to find the answer on my own. So good job, Jen. Look at that, patting myself on the back at 7:12 this morning. That
need
might
a little
be
confidence boost
a
after your
new
morning.
Honestly, that might be a new record. He has talked about this shift that we have seen from the Green Bay Packers offensive line, how they have become a team that frequently uses 6 offensive linemen. That's your point about the depth and needing that 6th guy in case there's an injury, in case there are issues that come up. But he also talked about how Green Bay has moved away from smaller, faster linemen towards a big man blueprint. And we just talked a few moments ago about how Belton is 6'6", and he's playing right guard, where I was like, that feels like a tackle to me. Are you seeing this as well? Are you seeing this trend for Green Bay on the offensive line to be going bigger and stronger, not necessarily faster?
Yeah, especially at the guard position like we just talked about. That's what Aaron Banks is. That's what, Anthony Belton is.
Sean Ryan's a big guy, too.
Yeah, Sean Ryan, he's not small.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering he might have to lose a little weight.
Well, they've called him fat before, so.
Josh, ignore that and just sign this $39 million contract we're putting in front of you. All right. Yeah, we may have called you fat in the past, but Sean, you're our guy. We need you at center.
How did I miss them calling him the F word? When did this happen?
This was his 2nd year, and people were asking why he wasn't getting more of a look, and they said he was overweight. And do you know who said that? You want to take a guess?
Steno.
Yeah.
I was going to say Steno or Mark Murphy. One or the other.
Too much at the microphone.
He was 100% right. Steno or Mark
Locked
Murphy
in.
were the only two answers that were possible.
He might not have. Now I'm starting to get. He might have said he's not in shape. So he might have said, or like not in proper shape.
Yeah.
He implied he was too fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't actually use what Jen refers to as the F word, but everybody else on the internet took and ran with it.
Yeah, because typically when you have road graders like they do, you run downhill because you really can't run outside. But the center's got to be pretty versatile, I mean, I know a lot of teams play 3-4, and a lot of times he's covered or shaded. But the teams that don't, you're, and that's what Frankie was like, sneaky athletic. I mean, you don't look at him and go, wow, what's the Gabe? What was that look?
What?
I said sneaky. I didn't say athletic. I said sneaky athletic.
I was also trying to figure out how you were going to get out of not actually complimenting your friend because you didn't want to give him that.
I thought that was very nice.
I thought we had to be careful of the sneaky athletic when we talk about white guys. I thought that was a thing that existed.
Not when it comes to offensive line.
No.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
Category.
Glad you guys are adding your own caveats here.
Yeah, if you're 300 plus.
Definitely not allowed to say it about white receivers or white cornerbacks, though, just for the record. 800-990-3776. Sean Rhyan gets paid. He's going to be the center in 2026, 2027. And we talked about the amount of money, right, Chu? I know that you said that the money was a little bit shocking, but sticker price is what the market dictates right now. Packers found themselves in a situation where they didn't want to pay the top dollar of the guys who were out there on the market, so they figured, let's just slide our guy over and make it happen.
I mean, Tyler Linderbaum, who is somebody we have talked about, who got released by the Ravens, he's going to make like $80 to $90 million as a center, which is outrageous amount of money.
Crazy.
We see this happen a lot where a position seems to lag, and then as the cap ever increases, as we've seen over the past however many years, it seems everybody eventually gets theirs, and it seems like it's time for centers. And a lot of it has to do with free agency and need, but it all seems to, at some point, skyrocket.
Except for one position.
It's running back.
Fullback.
Yeah, and fullback. And fullback, too.
R.I.P.
Ingold got like $7 million. Good for him.
Just got to find that one team. Just got to find that one coach.
That's still
that
one
one
team.
You gotta
That's what I
find
mean.
that Harbaugh. That's really
Do the moves the Packers made this weekend eliminate offensive line as a draft need? I have Tom weighing in on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream the show on YouTube. It's on our ESPN Milwaukee channel. He says offensive line is still a problem even with this re-signing. Let us know if you feel the same way. I don't think they're done. I think they still are going to target it. Look, I think Green Bay every single year targets an offensive lineman in the draft. So do not be shocked if they still go that route somewhere. But how confident do you feel now that the Packers seemingly have locked up their interior offensive line for the upcoming season? 800-990-3776. We got to take a break. A lot of stuff to get to. A lot of things happened with the green and gold over the weekend. Marquette got a big win as well. What's going on with your Milwaukee Bucks? They got a win over the Jazz. They ended up losing bad again last night. No Giannis. Second night of a back-to-back. We'll talk it all this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time because Pella of Wisconsin, they're offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2032. That's right, 0% interest until 2032. In Wisconsin, you already know your home takes that beating year-round. Feels great right now. I'm sure a lot of people had your windows and doors open over the weekend. But guess what? We might be getting some snow. So your house is taking that beating, and the right windows and doors can improve your comfort, boost energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's look like my home when I got my Pella door last year. Pella's expert will help you find the perfect fit for your home and budget, which is awesome the way that they do that. And with 0% interest until 2032, you can upgrade now and pay overtime without paying a dime of interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we got eastbound 94 backing up just a bit, just before 76th Street, all the way past 68th. The westbound side's tightening up right out of the stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. Other than that, just a few broken down vehicles here and there, and they are out of traffic, not causing problems. So we're moving along pretty well so far. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 68. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Kyle Bruston Nortman.
We need the final end here.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben, bro.
KBN.
Brian Gutekunst has mapped out his best offseason of his entire career. I've been thinking about roster development lately and what Gutey has in store for him. And I don't see any way this team can become a title contender unless Gutey has the best offseason of his whole career.
Kyle Bruston Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Step into spring with a home that's ready for its next season. I'm Mike Wood from Callan. The patio door sale is here. The perfect time to upgrade your space with lasting performance and style. Right now, receive $750 off each installed Infinity by Marvin patio door. This opportunity ends March 31st. Engineered to be 8 times stronger for exceptional durability and performance, these doors deliver beauty, strength, and long-term value. And with smart money options available, making the upgrade now is easier than ever. Request your consultation today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live.
In healthcare, change is constant. Fifth Third Bank helps organizations navigate that change with local expertise and comprehensive financial solutions. From capital structure optimization to revenue cycle support and commercial payment tools, Fifth Third empowers sustainable growth. For nearly 20 years, the Milwaukee team has partnered with healthcare and not-for-profit organizations, building trusted, long-term relationships. Experience the difference only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association, member FDIC.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
His eyeball.
Wait.
Where do I get him?
I just assumed when I said wait, did you just think it was just a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much. Typically.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Well, it appeared as though at least one conversation that we've been having here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy was coming to fruition, was coming to light, was going to happen. When Rashan Gary hopped on social media over the weekend, I believe it was Friday. Josh, I think you were in the middle of a show.
Yes, it was live through the entire duration of the saga of Mr. Irrelevant on YouTube, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting at 12:30.
He was out. He was back. He was hacked. Rashan Gary saying that the social media post that you all saw, I'm sure, was not his doing, in fact, but that his social media account was hacked on Instagram, the one that indicated he was being released by the Green Bay Packers. Chew, your reaction to the saga that Joshy just mentioned Friday afternoon regarding Rashan Gary.
That's a good start to the weekend.
And then it wasn't?
And then it wasn't. And then I don't know what the hell was going on. Did he have anything to do with it? I still don't understand what went on.
The theory that I have, that I think is shared by at least more than one other person, I believe what happened is Rashan Gary wanted to force the Packers' hand. Because, look, you don't want this thing to drag out like it did with Zaire last year. As we mentioned last week, there's no roster bonus that's due on the third day of the league here that triggers, okay, we don't want to pay that, so we're going to release you before that. So this can just drag out into the summer, the way it did for Jaire Alexander. Then you just get released when all the money's gone and teams aren't going to have interest. So I think he wanted an opportunity to get released and get a kind of a head start before other free agents can start negotiating at 11 a.m. Central today. He wanted to get a shot, kind of like we just saw with Tyler Biadasz. He was released, so he was able to negotiate a contract with the new team. I think he wanted that for him, so he throws out that post to try to force the Packers' hand. The Packers are going, no, we're just holding on to you, hoping somebody trades. Because there's no way they're going to bring him back. At this point, I can't imagine he agrees to a lower salary. I think he just wants out. And he was hoping that he could force the Packers' hand. And when he didn't force the Packers' hand, well, then his account was hacked.
Is it spiteful, though? Because I understood it with Zaire, okay? Zaire did too many stupid things around here where perception-wise, it kind of looked like they screwed him over.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do the same thing with Gary?
Because
they're not getting anything. You think they're getting anything for him?
No. I think that this is a tactic used by the Packers to try to force somebody like Rashan Gary to accept whatever they're offering on a pay cut. Hey, this is what we're offering. I don't want to take that. All right, well, we're just going to hold on to you until we release you, and then best of luck finding that. I think that's the negotiation tactic.
So there is spite. That sounds spiteful.
There's some spite, and there's also some, hey, this is the deal we have. You don't want it. We also kind of control the strings around here.
I often wonder what we interpret as strategic and what we interpret as petty. Because you could make the argument if you're the Green Bay Packers, and of course you would, that this is just strategic, right? That, look, we have seen guys who have left teams and then gone out and had good years, maybe out of spite. Maybe they're like, I'll show them. And I think the Packers in this instance, I don't think that they necessarily want to commit a lot of money to Rashan Gary, but they might be willing to have him there as sort of an in case of emergency break glass body, but at the right price. This to me was very interesting, gang. You read the post, Rashan Gary, very heartfelt, how he's leaving Green Bay, how it was so great when he got the call, blah, 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 blah. And then at the last line, the very back end, he says, on to my next stop. Well, someone says, the hacker says. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, there's clearly, it wasn't
the alleged
Rashan.
hacker.
The alleged hacker says, all 6'5", 275, can't wait. Did you just list your height and your weight on your goodbye post?
Yeah, like he's a caller on the Dan Patrick Show.
That stuff I can find online. You know what else I can find online? Your stats. Interesting that he didn't put you the stats of his time in Green Bay, because that to me doesn't really boost the resume, does it?
Not so much. He could have put Pro Bowler, though.
Yeah, he could have.
Chewy loves that Pro Bowl distinction.
He made it. And he wasn't even an alternate, Chew. He just made it straight up.
No, I know. With what, 4.5 sacks?
I think so. Might have been 5.
So are we all in agreement that we don't believe that he was hacked? Who hacks an account and posts a goodbye?
Well,
that's.
This fan base has been trying to get rid of Gary for a while. So,
you think it's possible that it actually was hacked?
Like 1%.
Sure.
Like 1%.
Mm-hmm. That seems a little aggressive.
Seems a little high, huh, Joshy?
Yeah. I mean, he just wanted to be out in the. I think he's worried about what he's going to get offered in free agency.
Correct.
If and when he's eventually released. I think he doesn't want the clock to run out, and he doesn't want teams to spend all their money and then him to be sort of a second, third wave addition. I think he still views himself as a premier pass rusher. I think the Packers have tried to make him believe that as well. I don't think that's the case.
Or at least said it publicly.
Right.
You got to hope that they're saying a different message internally,
I guess
right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they doing the same thing with Elton Jenkins? Like, why hasn't he been released yet?
I got to imagine that's going to be the first domino to fall here. Because
clear money.
While the simple restructure that they did for Xavier McKinney put them under the salary cap, and you can retro date all these moves that we're talking about with the Packers today, even the restructure that they did with Aaron Banks, till after the league year opens. But you're going to need some cash pretty soon here to kind of open up some money for extensions, the other contracts that you want to sign, and the Elton Jenkins just freeing up $30 million by releasing him. I got to imagine that's going to happen soon.
What do you think he gets when he resigns? $10 million? He can still play. At guard.
Yeah.
He's clearly not a center, but hell, I'd take him back here. He's never going to do it because he's going to get paid because he's still starter quality, but he could get 10, no? 10, 12?
I think.
I mean, I would like to think so after some of the center money that's been thrown around, but it all kind of depends, Chew, on when he gets released. If he gets released, before 11 o'clock this morning, Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got that opportunity. If he gets released at the end of the month, probably not going to get that money.
Not sure if you got to see all the jokes, Chewy, that were rolling around surrounding this on Friday, considering that they exist online and you exist offline. I'm going to guess no, but one of my favorite ones was when Matt Schneidman tweeted, Rashan Gary has not been traded or released per source, as both options remain on the table. He also deleted his farewell message on Instagram. Somebody wrote, giving up on an IG post just like he gives up on plays. And there were a lot of jokes at the expense of this. Somebody also noted that he referred to himself, or the hacker referred to him as Bane in the post. And Titletown Talk says, ain't nobody referred to this man as Bane in years. Which I think is also true. Have you ever heard any fan say Bane in regards to Rashan Gary? That is a T-bone and a T-bone all the way.
But also, if your account gets hacked, there have been some accounts that I've seen that have gotten hacked that the hackers just take it over. They don't just make one post and then disappear.
Also, you aren't able to regain your account within 10 minutes.
Correct.
And then delete
the
post.
post. Yes.
Usually it's a couple hours. You got to go through the people, the powers that be.
Sometimes you just lose the account altogether.
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
Also, there's
Gabe,
another.
You're probably right.
There's another layer to this. Rashan Gary has his own sports agency that has one player and one agent. It's himself and his agent. So, there's not a lot to parse out here who or where this could come from, who could be doing the hacking. He runs his own thing. It's very implausible this happened via anything else.
Well, someone did throw out the theory that maybe there's an intern at said agency. Again, that's not out of the realm of possibility, that had already sort of drafted this. It was sitting in the drafts folder waiting for the moment to happen and then accidentally hit the send button.
What, just went into the drafts just to play around?
I just want to make sure it looks good. I want to make sure it is exactly. Did we get the height and weight in there? Good. Yes, we did. Okay.
Well, but wouldn't you have deleted it, I don't know, immediately if you accidentally posted it if you were a said intern? Not leave it up for 10 minutes before deleting it?
I would have, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Again, all signs point to, when you start logically thinking about this, all signs point to one man and one man only sending.
Where's this going to rank in Rashan Gary's not top 10?
That's what I was just going to say.
Career?
Not top. This might be a top 10.
Well, I'm saying in terms of, first we've got the video that's burned in my mind that I'll never ever forget. And it's him doing the crossover stunt while he's lined up over the center. And then he just gets stonewalled. is a non-factor. Then we have in the playoffs when he quits with Caleb Williams still on the ball on a pass he ended up actually completing down the field because he just decided he didn't want to chase him down anymore. And then you've got all the other quitting on the field to have opportunities.
Well, yeah, before Micah got hurt in the Broncos game.
Yeah.
Rashan was doing his give up thing as the quarterback rolls out, and Micah just sprinting past him.
By him, yeah.
Even though Micah probably doesn't have a chance of getting there, but Micah's convinced himself he's getting there. That was a tough one.
It's very interesting because it kind of reminds me of, again, we talked about Zaire. Zaire had a ton of great plays as a Packer for years, right? But when you mention Jair Alexander, the thing that pops into my head is the stunt of him making himself a captain at the end of the year, the him not wanting to tackle. It's weird how all of a sudden you can change a narrative in your mind where when you say someone's name, the first thing that pops up is something negative, and I think this is going to follow, at least with the Packers fan base, I think this is going to follow him long after this.
There's one thing and one thing alone that pops in my head when you say Jair Alexander. 100%.
Fair enough. We actually
that's the number one
we
thing.
We actually have that drop here. And what about the video where he was talking and the reporter didn't recognize him?
Oh, yeah.
He steps into the
back, baby.
And she's like, according to this fan. We'll take a break here on Jen Gave It To You. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. I do have folks on the YouTube stream weighing in saying, congratulations, Malik. You are a Miami Dolphin. That from Captain Matty Ice. That, of course, after the news that Tua Tagovailoa is going to be released. We'll keep our eyes on that as well. Jen Gave It To You rolls on. Stick around.
Let me tell you about our good friends at Events by Design, because you can boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more with Events by Design. And again, if you're throwing a celebration for your company, anniversary for your company, or just, again, something to appreciate your employees, Events by Design is the only team you need to be reaching out to. Maybe you've seen some of their work. Maybe you've been to the Buck Soiree. Maybe you've been to the night market. Maybe you went to the holiday market back in November. All things that Events by Design helped. Or maybe you're just looking to help for them to boost like they did with our golf outing, having walk-up music when everybody walked onto the 14th hole at the ESPN Milwaukee Open. For over 25 years, Events by Design has helped companies execute successful events, retain top talents by investing in your culture today. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have an issue on eastbound 94 just past 84th Street. The center lane's blocked with some debris in the roadway, so just watch out for that. We've got a broken down vehicle off on the westbound side at 84th Street. So just be careful with those. As far as the delays are concerned, we got backups heading through from 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard on the westbound side. Eastbound's going to be backed up from 84th Street to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 68. Tonight, partly cloudy with the low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhardt Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritwear is vital. That's why Burkhardt Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritwear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritwear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhardt.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. So much stuff to discuss. 5-pound, 10-pound today, gang. Lots of folks weighing in with skepticism about the Rashan Gary post. So when do you think this actually happens? Are we days away, weeks away, when Rashan Gary and company can actually post? Look, I mean, the hacker did him a solid. They prepared a nice little draft there for them to work off of when he Now what does he do if he does get released? He can't use that post. They have to make a new post?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be difficult to log on to ChatGPT and have him, whip up another one.
But your prompt has to be like, but it can't be anything like the other one that we drafted.
It's going to be very similar, I think. I don't know. I guess maybe before the draft at this point. Like, because if the Packers are holding on to him and he's trying to work his way out of there so he can try to get access to some of the money that's available in free agency this year, and then he posted this to try to force the Packers' hand, that's not going to make the Packers happy. You think that's to make the Packers release him today? I don't. So maybe before the draft?
If they need money, though, I mean...
They've got other levers they can pull.
Like who? Who would be...
Elton's the big one. That's $30 million. They just opened up. I guess we got to wait and see how much they touched of the Aaron Banks contract. We just know they restructured it, but that could open up similar amount of money to what they could get from releasing Rashan Gary.
Okay.
Jordan, right?
Yeah, they can restructure Jordan. They can restructure Josh Jacobs. Like, there's a lot of restructures they can do to make, upfront money accessible to them.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the other moves this weekend because, again, as we mentioned, it was a very busy weekend for the Green and Gold. Green Bay also decided to trade defensive tackle Colby Wooden to Indiana for Zaire Franklin. And this, to me, was an interesting move because I feel like now they have needs at defensive tackle. I didn't necessarily think they had a major need at linebacker. I know the plan is to move on from Quay Walker. You guys keep telling me that. Again, I'm fighting it with every ounce of my being because I wish it wasn't the case, but it does look like it's going to be. So Zaire Franklin is now a member of the Green Bay Packers. What do we need to know about this guy? Is he a guy who you think is going to be on the field significantly? Because we have talked about how Green Bay looks like they are leaning. And again, we're not exactly sure what Gannon's plan is going to be, but we think that they are going to be in nickel more often than in base. And this, to me, and to Joshy, I believe, looks like a base player. Gabe, were you excited about adding Zaire Franklin to the Green and Gold?
Was more confused more than anything because I just figured that at the linebacker position, they were going to roll with what they had. I mean, Tyron Hopper's sitting right there. They like Isaiah McDuffie. Yeah, maybe you need some depth pieces and at $7 million, I guess I'm hoping
Cooper, of course.
Yeah, to play alongside Edgerrin Cooper, of course, because he's the one who has the potential for star power in that group. So in terms of replacing Quay, I guess I wasn't all that concerned. I just don't know what role he's going to fill, if he's going to be on the field as much. He was somebody who was a captain for the Colts, so if you're thinking the Packers were kind of missing out on those veteran leaders, this guy's going to be turning 30. Before the season starts.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I know.
And you got rid of a youngster who they liked, and you just made a thin position even thinner.
That means the Packers are going to have two 30-year-olds on the roster. And I've shown they got McManus and now Zaire Franklin. Doubling the number of 30-year-olds on the roster, Chew.
My guess is they are going to trade for a D-tackle.
Well, they've been rumored.
I know they've been kicking the tires.
Yep, been rumored for a couple of different guys.
What were those names? We obviously had them in the text chain.
Jalen Carter
from the Eagles
and Dexter Lawrence
from the Giants.
Carter's a big number too, isn't he?
Has he gotten paid yet?
I don't think so, which is why I think they're looking to trade him.
Is he still on his rookie deal?
I think so.
Yes, and I believe Jordan Riley, their other defensive tackle, just got a big deal from them, unless I hallucinated that.
Are both...
Yeah, Jalen Carter's still on his rookie deal.
I thought Jalen Carter was problematic.
He is.
Yeah, Oh, yeah. It has been. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Packers traditionally don't grab problematic guys.
They don't until the odd times they decide to.
He's really good, though.
Yeah. Desperate times, desperate measures, that sort of thing.
Yeah, now, would that be a Gannon thing? Would that be a Gannon connection thing?
There would be a Gannon connection because his rookie year was Gannon's last year in Philly.
But that's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a top 10 pick.
he was a top 10 pick.
I'm saying if they were to trade for him.
It would not cost you a first round pick.
I don't think so.
No.
Because you have to pay him. And that's sort of part of the deal there.
And while he's good, he's not at the level of Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, of those guys, too, that, okay, we're going to give up the high draft picks plus pay this guy. He hasn't reached that level yet. So you would have to, it would cost the Packers their second round pick.
But he's better than Devontae Wyatt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'd be nice, but.
And it's they're calling on him. So they might have said, hey, I heard you guys are moving him. What's the cost? And then heard the price and said, oof.
It could be an incredibly high price because apparently a lot of people have done that with A.J. Brown. Oh, I hear you want to move A.J. Brown. What's the price? No, thank you. And maybe the Eagles are asking for it, and they should because Jalen Carter is a young, exciting talent who I think still has more room to grow. So maybe that's an issue for the Packers. But, defensive tackle, without a doubt, is now the biggest need on this roster.
According to the report, the Giants are uber high on Lawrence and are unlikely to move the star, while the Eagles have been fielding trade offers for the young defensive tackle Jalen Carter. Carter is on the last year of his rookie contract. Again, when I say problematic, I'm not even talking about the things that I was aware of when he was in college that were following him into the draft. Now, again, you guys mentioned still a top draft pick because it's interesting how that stuff works out. Talent wins. Mm-hmm. Talent outs, I think is the phrase that they use on Wilde and Tausch. But he's spitting a dude's face.
Yeah, I know.
I think
Before the
week
game.
one of this past season.
I don't even know if it was technically week one. It was before kickoff.
Yeah, when we saw the loogie, it was they did the slow motion fly through the air loogie from his mouth onto the face of the Dallas Cowboys player. Again, as I mentioned, talent outs, but it feels like you would have to rein that guy in.
A little bit, but again, what is one of the complaints we've made about the Packers? Is this team too soft? Guys like that, you don't like that they spit in the face. Same thing with Zaire Franklin, who they traded for. Dude had a couple of personal foul penalties this past year. Kind of plays pretty close to that edge.
Thought we were trying to clean that up after.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to have a little bit of that edge, you got to have a couple of the guys that are, again, that have had issues like this, like spitting at other guys, having some personal fouls. And if you, again, it's a tough line to straddle. Right? Between going too far and not. I know, Chewy, that's something you talked about, where you have to get mentally when you step on an NFL football field. But if you are one of those people that think that this team is too soft, it's problematic. He's spitting somebody's face, but he plays with an edge that, again, I think could potentially get rid of that that moniker that gets attached to the Packers.
Well, Quay had his own issues, too, and those kind of petered out.
He pushed a trainer.
You can't do that.
Yeah, turns out that's frowned upon. It's frowned upon. And again, had that happened a second time, Chew, I think you'd have been cut. So, again, when you do something like push a trainer once, I don't think you get a second opportunity at that one.
Yeah.
Lots of reaction rolling in on the YouTube stream. Chew, Carter is a head case. Remember the first game this year, he spit on Dak. Yes, we mentioned that. But then D. Payne says, we need that edge on this team. And I think that's a fine line. I think I'd be very interested to know what Packers fans think because, again, he's 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know the Packers love that young talent that they can kind of control for a little bit if they play their cards right. But I guess my red flag went up immediately when I saw Jalen Carter's name mentioned in that text that you guys sent over the weekend about them being interested. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be interested in DTs. And I know that the market is what the market is. It is intriguing. Sometimes guys need a change of scenery. You think that change of scenery would be what Jalen Carter needs to kind of reel it in?
I think that's... Again, do I think he's going to spit in another dude's face? Probably not. But I think him playing with a little bit of an edge is just who that guy is.
He's going to get paid, though. I know the cap keeps going up and up, but he'll be in the 20s, Gabe.
Well, eventually, you're saying, right?
Well, if you're going to trade for him, he's not going to be a rental. So... you'll probably work the deal right away.
Mm-hmm.
They could do it, but man, that's strapping you.
But again, that's what all these other teams have done, Chew. That's what that's what the Rams did for a long time. That's what the Detroit Lions have tried to do. That's what the Eagles did to win a championship.
Yeah.
They paid all their guys, and now that's part of the reason why they look at Jalen Carter and go, well, a lot of that money's coming due on guys we gave big money to, so we might not be able to afford Jalen Carter. We may have to, trade him away, try to get cheap, replaceable draft pick talent for him.
Well, it might seem like the staffing was a little bit of keep everything as is and not make a lot of change. It sure seems like Gutey is interested in going all in terms of what Gutey does all in. That's different than, say, the Rams. They seem aggressive. It seems like they're trying their damnedest.
I mean, we'll see when the window opens here at 11, Josh. I'm not expecting them to be active in this first wave of free agency.
No, not necessarily unless they have, for some reason, they find themselves in Aaron Banks that they can't get rid of. And all of us kind of look at it and go, I guess. But like all the names, I don't really expect them to be involved in that.
Yeah, because any sort of big contract that you give up would offset the potential draft picks you would get for the Malik Willis. Malik's going to get paid today. Rasheed Walker's going to get paid today.
And that's why you are in the trade market.
Yes, because that doesn't count towards that
Yeah.
compensation, yes.
I've got Adam Schefter in front of a map of the United States like he's one of those politician
Steve
trackers or
Kornacki.
on election night. If he starts painting states blue or red or purple, I'm going to be very disappointed. Reaction rolling in on the YouTube stream as well. Dylan says Carter and Parsons on the same defensive line would be crazy. Yeah, and again, from a talent standpoint, I think we have seen what Jalen Carter is capable of. It's the one that's most intriguing. It's the name that's most intriguing to me. It sounds like everything I'm reading here says Dexter Lawrence would be a pipe dream for the Green Bay Packers. Pretty unrealistic as one of the best defensive tackles in the sport, and it would appear as though the Giants are pretty high on him.
Yeah, unfortunately, with John Harbaugh being in the Giants building, I think the days of Giants doing really dumb stuff may be past us. As long as Harbaugh's going over my dead body type of stuff there.
We thank them for their service. We thank you for giving us Xavier McKinney.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the Eagles obviously
thank them for Saquon.
Exactly. Things of that nature.
But the draft is not enough to backfill these positions. It's not.
No, certainly doesn't seem like.
Especially corner in D tackle. So they have to do something.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but I think that if they add a corner, if they add a defensive tackle in free agency, you're looking at ancillary pieces, like 2 years, $12 million type of deals.
You don't think a big?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do not. I do not foresee that for this team right now.
I'd be all for it.
Yeah, but I just don't. I think Gutey looks at, especially if they are trying to be active in trading and getting somebody of Jalen Carter's ilk and have to give up another draft pick this year. I think they're looking at next year of, okay, we still don't have that first round pick, but if we get a couple of thirds, if we get a fourth, because a lot of their guys are gone, that helps backfill the draft and helps you get that cheap talent. And I don't think they want to offset that unless there is somebody that they just think this is the difference maker and going to put our defense over the top. And I don't think that corner exists on the free agent market.
But you think we're done at linebacker, right? The Zaire Franklin trade acquisition, that unit feels full? No, Gabe, you're giving me
I would be shocked if they spent a lower end draft pick on it.
Also, Neiman's back. A guy we learned about when he was forced into action.
Oh, Nick Neiman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
I only know that because I got the list of linebackers up in front of me on my computer right now.
Mostly a special teamer.
We put it on the Infinity Exteriors Twitter poll. It is also available on the YouTube stream. Refresh your home with roofing, siding, or windows, all backed by their lifetime workmanship warranty. That's infinityexteriors.com. Do you believe Rashan Gary was hacked? 91% of people do not believe that Rashan Gary was hacked. Yeah, there's 9%. Hey, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Giving somebody the benefit of the doubt.
When did he earn that?
Those are the people who you see online still saying, well, he had X amount of pressure. That's who's voting.
The pressure people?
Yeah. That's it. That's all that's left.
So Brian Gutekunst then?
I guess.
Anybody who has ever sung the praises of Rashan Gary's contributions to the Green Bay
Jeff
Packers.
Hafley's voting this morning?
I think he's a little busy with his roster construction.
That's
$99 million cap hit.
That's tough. At least they get to spread it over 2 years.
They're paying him $99 million to go away. See ya, pal.
It's got to be a tough blow for the ego.
Also, Chew's gone.
Oh, yeah. Jen started doing a read. Jen started doing a read. Of course,
it wasn't even a real read. It was a half read. It
doesn't matter.
Telling people to go vote on the Twitter poll.
Doesn't matter. He thought the segment was over.
How long? You changed the thing?
Yeah, we just got to get out of there.
Sorry. Dang it. We'll be right back after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Smalls here. Did you know there are many ways to do your taxes with H&R Block? You can go to a local office and get expert help in person, or you can choose virtual tax prep and get expert help without leaving home. Or you can even do them yourself online with live human help standing by. Whatever you choose, you can file with confidence, having H&R Block's 70+ years of tax expertise in your corner. Switch today and file your way at hrblock.com.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Have you never had a good pie?
I've had fine pies.
You get no pie.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, it seems that way anyway. But if we get him on those dating sites, it feels like maybe he could.
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
In all my years covering sports, I've never missed an assignment. I've come close. We'll have to tell you about my Penn State sideline gig another day. But on Friday, as you guys know, I was supposed to sideline the Miami of Ohio versus Ohio basketball game. Miami of Ohio going for the undefeated regular season, trying to go 31-0. They did, in fact, achieve that feat. Overtime game.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Little chippy.
Yeah.
You know, athletes flipping off the student section after the game.
Threw the bird out there, a few F-bombs. Would have been an awesome environment to take part in. I would know I wasn't there.
What?
Yeah, my flight from Chicago to Columbus, Ohio, which then would have resulted in an hour and a half drive from there to, I think it's Athens, Ohio is where the game was, canceled. Delayed, then canceled. My next flight, delayed, then canceled. My third flight, delayed, canceled. So I did not make it to Athens, Ohio on Friday.
What was going on Friday? I thought the weather was decent enough.
Well, it was really bad in the morning here. You remember it was like real rainy and the fog and low visibility.
Oh, sure.
Well, that's not the issue. Apparently there were tornadoes in Michigan. And so they were very leery of, throwing a airplane up into the sky.
You know what? That one makes sense. That tracks.
Tornadoes and whatnot. So I ended up watching the game on my phone as I, left the airport and got back to my house at a unreasonable hour. I was real disappointed, Shu. I was prepared. I had prepped. I had all my hits ready. And I had talked to the coach the day before. Very excited to be on the sideline for a historic game, what could have been a historic game and ended up being one. They won by 2 in overtime. But yeah, never made it.
So what'd they do? There was no sideline reporter?
They went without the sideline reporter and had one of the guys from the booth jump out and do the interviews afterward.
Did you consider driving?
At noon, I thought about driving.
Okay.
Game was a 9 o'clock tip.
9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, they're at Eastern time.
Yep.
So, yeah. It would have taken me 7 hours to drive from O'Hare to Athens, Ohio. And at that time, I still had 2 flights. At noon, I still had a 104 and I had a 220. And ultimately, both of them were delayed and canceled. The 104 was the one that was on the board. Delayed till 5, delayed till 5:30, delayed till 6. And I thought 6 o'clock was probably the game over mark.
Sure.
Because an hour and a half to fly, plus the time change, plus the hour 20 to drive. My goal at some point was just to get there for post-game, to be able to handle the post-game interview responsibilities. And then they canceled that flight at 6:30.
Yeah, so and at that point, it's game over.
How many hours were you at O'Hare?
Well, I left my house at 8.
How many meals did you have at O'Hare?
Well, one of them was on United, so that was nice. They hand you the voucher that's like, so sorry, here's $20. So I got there a little before 10, and I left at, I would say, 6:30 when the flight was finally canceled.
Oh, so you put in a full shift.
Full shift at O'Hare.
That is what you would call a waste of a day, right?
It was rough.
Well, so then you came back. Did you at least get to go to and see Ben almost make history at the Bowling for Babies event?
I did not. You'll have to fill me in on that.
Oh, he almost bowled 300.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was a game of 9-pin tap.
Really?
So he had 1-9, I believe, in the 6th frame.
Yeah.
And then he took it all the way to the last ball.
Has he ever had one?
I do not believe so.
Is that a choke?
Yes.
To me, it sounds like a choke.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to give him credit for almost bowling at 300?
298.
We're going to criticize him for not bowling at 300?
Yeah, 298.
That's really impressive. I'm sorry. So I missed 2 historic performances this weekend.
Mean, you just missed out. I mean, Ben wasn't really historic. Now it just gets forgotten. 298, who cares?
Happy travels, gang. So glad to be back at the airport after a season full of college football. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Ready for this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 43 slowing down right past Capitol Drive down towards Locust. And the northbound side of 4394, bit heavy around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Back on the brakes from Lapham up to the base of the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, you've got backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side very heavy from almost 92nd Street all the way through the stadium interchange at 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 68. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 38. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway. Play Georgia Golf Club for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by March 31st. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. March is that time of year when a lot of us are thinking about fresh starts and maybe even getting a tax refund. And instead of spending that money on something temporary, what if you invested it in something that improves your home for decades? Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today.
We are the home for all your Bucks coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I guess we'll get back to Packers so that Reppin' Mill can get off my bleep. Green Bay Packers, Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed. Apparently, guys, their names are being mentioned, or at least they're being called about for the green and gold. Between those two, I don't really see the Packers moving on from either of them. We already know that Romeo Doubs is probably on the outside looking in. But from a talent standpoint, and I know we've talked about this, there's an argument out there that the Packers don't have a number one, that they have a bunch of threes or maybe a bunch of twos. I would argue I think Christian Watson is a de facto one. I think Matthew Golden will continue to improve. But I don't see the Green Bay Packers being interested in giving up an area of depth. Am I wrong on this? Do you think there's actual intrigue or actual interest in the Packers trading Dontavian Wicks or Jaden Reed, Gabe?
If somebody overpays, certainly. If somebody's so desperate at wide receiver and they want, cheap talent that they give them something, then they're probably worth more than. I could see it. But other than that, no. Because I don't know what you're getting really for either one of these guys right now. Because Jaden Reed's coming off of a season where he was injured the entire time and still has questions about him going into the last year of the rookie deal. So nobody's going to line up and give you a second or third round pick for somebody that they're likely going to have to pay with those types of question marks. And Dontavian Wicks has been even less productive than Jaden Reed and is in the same situation going into the last year of a rookie deal. So I just don't know what you would really get for either one of these. And it's probably, if you were thinking about trading either one, it's probably worth just hanging on to them, see what they can get, and maybe they get a bunch of money next year in free agency, and the compensatory pick you get is worth more than whatever you would end up trading for. You'd be selling low, more than likely, if you were to trade either one of them right now.
I'd be open to trading Wicks, and then you move Bo Melton back to receiver, because even though he was listed as a DB, Gabe Reed.
I don't think so. Coming off the injuries he had, like if he stayed healthy, Chew, and did what he did his first 2 years, certainly. But he's coming off of a broken collarbone. He also had a Jones fracture in his foot. Like nobody's going to give you that.
But
so
you also said they'd have to overpay in order for the Packers to actually be interested in this.
Yes.
So wouldn't that be overpaying?
Yeah. Like if somebody was willing to give you a 3, sure. I just don't think anybody's going to be willing to do that because again, they would have to pay Reed, and you've got questions about Reed, right? Would you be willing to give Jaden Reed a big extension right now?
No, I don't think they've figured him out yet. You know?
Well,
because I like going into next year, I like Golden, Watson, Reed is your third.
Don't forget about Tucker Kraft. There you
end.
go. Yes, absolutely.
Tucker Kraft, and then Josh Jacobs in the backfield. That's a good offense.
Yeah, so I don't think that you would get enough for Reed to make it worth it, is basically what I'm saying. If somebody overpaid and wanted to give you a second or third, I would listen, but I don't think anybody's going to be willing to do that.
I don't know if they're the head coach certainly doesn't seem to want to part with Reed. They've been in search
then play him more.
Since Matt LaFleur got here, they've been in search of like that specific role. They've tried multiple guys. They seemingly have found one who they don't give playing time to all the time. Wicks is the one who sort of becomes redundant and attack on to me. It seems pretty clear they want a guy in that slot role, and they want him to look and function much like Jaden Reed actively does.
Yeah, he's a good zebra receiver, third receiver.
I guess
he's
I get
solid.
nervous, Chew, about when you think you have a position of strength, when you think you have depth at a position, then feeling like you have the luxury of trading away those pieces. I feel like that's something that happened, with the offensive line recently? I feel like we were like, oh my gosh, the depth of this offensive line. And then you deal with a few injuries, and all of a sudden you're like, why is the cupboard so bare? So there's a part of me that is like, look, I understand that there are needs on this team, that they're trying to use all of the creative ways to fill those needs. I don't like the idea of giving up what appears to be a position of strength, quote, unquote, to try to supplement some of those other needs. I feel like we're going to find ourselves in another situation. You mentioned Reed's injuries, Gabe. Like if he ends up being one of these guys who's dealing with something every year and missing time every year, I think you want to have Wicks. And again, I know they don't play the same position because you mentioned Reed obviously has been mostly slot only for the Packers, but I think you just want to have another body there that you can slot in if there are injuries that come up.
Now, we did just see the Packers do a player-for-player trade with the Zaire Franklin deal. If I could get a Dontavian Wicks equivalent at corner, I'd think about that.
Or D-line. I don't even think they can field a team right now with their D-line.
Be tough.
Yeah. Be getting some of those offensive linemen. Maybe Jacob Monk can play D-tackle.
I also think the added wrinkle here is the Packers have Savion Williams, and he's going to be a part of the offense. And now you start doing the math, the roster math of how many guys do you have, how many position spots are they taking up, and how much can we get all of them what they need to stay here and be happy.
Yes.
And that would be when you factor in the Savion Williams part and you factor in what Chewy said about Bo Melton. Yeah, you can kind of backfill that even with what you have on the roster currently, and then even still take a receiver in the 6th round, see if you can hit on something there.
So are we all in agreement then that between those two, and again, I'm leaning more towards I would rather not play this game and be trading away these types of assets, but I understand the situation at play, that Dontavian Wicks is more, we would prefer that if they are going to do this, he's the guy they would trade away, that he feels like more of a luxury than Jaden Reed right now?
Yeah, but again, the flip side of that is that you got to give up something to get something, right? So if you actually want something more value in return, Jaden Reed's probably the guy.
What about straight up a D lineman for Wicks? Because you said they're not going to make a big splash, but you need bodies there, man. And that was a problem last year when Wyatt went down.
I don't even know how to start doing the conversion of what does a Dontavian Wicks look like on the defensive line? Like in terms of what level
value that
what level player is
Would you
that?
have been able to do that with the trade that they just made? With Zaire Franklin and Colby Wooden?
I guess I don't know.
Right, like I'm with you.
But like those guys were all starters. Now we're in the version of like part-time players.
Yeah, because at least Zaire Franklin was a captain, a starter.
Right.
Colby Wooden started all
led the league in
games.
tackles in 2024.
Franklin did, yeah.
But you're signing Wicks for potential because he has showed flashes that he could be really good. He just doesn't follow them up.
I think the thing that works for all of these receivers, Chew, as you put a resume out there for them, is just think about what this guy could have done if he was a featured receiver. If instead of, spreading the ball around and, having the luxury of the log jam that we have seen in Green Bay. I think that's always going to be the selling point, right?
Well, because there was a gush. What was the gush? 2 seasons ago?
For Wicks?
Yeah. Remember
yeah.
Jason was kind of gushing, saying this guy's got potential to be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, the head coach was gushing, and then the Fox broadcast crew kind of let him know how much he was gushing, saying he thought he had the feet similar of Devontae Adams. Not that he is Devontae, but he's shared a trait with Devontae.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that spirals out of control.
I'm curious what the loyal listeners think when it comes to those two. Let's put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll as well. If the Packers were to deal one of these wide receivers, which would you rather have them deal? And then we're not even saying what they would get back in return, right? Because you guys have thrown out cornerback, you've thrown out D-tackle, and both of those, as we know, are needs for the defense. If you had to trade one of those young wide receivers, who is it? They're actually not that young anymore, huh?
No,
relatively speaking.
They're all getting to the end of their rookie deals. All approaching year number 4
there
in the
is
NFL.
some perception that Reed is untouchable. Is some of that, do you think that they would ever work him back into, I know we have a new special teams coordinator, think they'd ever work him back into the return game, Chew?
I don't think they've given up on Savion Williams.
Yeah.
He's just a rookie. He just needs reps and times, and he's got to be, you gotta want to do it, They've got the bodies, they've got the numbers. It's just stop babying these guys so much. Get them out there. Let them play. 60 plays in a game, not a lot. Not a lot. You won't even get tired.
And the way they shuttle these guys in and out, I mean, again, Jaden Reed, somebody who's never played 80% of the snaps in any game, ever in his career.
Yep.
Let's see. Stevie weighing in on the Infinity the Carbless Talking text line, excuse me. He says, Savion was sensational at jump balls while in college. Would love to see him get more deep routes instead of end arounds this year. You agree with that, Gabe?
Cool. Is that coming at the...
he was that good at jump balls.
Yeah, I mean, even if he was, do you want him to get more reps over Matthew Golden? Over Christian Watson? Over Dontavian Wicks? I don't. I think all those guys are pretty significantly better than him playing the outside receiver spot.
He was arguably a better running back than he was wide receiver in college.
Gutey's got a hit on these receiver picks in the 2nd and 3rd round. I mean, look at Jordy. Look at Cobb. Was Cobb a 2?
Cobb was a 2.
I mean, you look at Free was a 3. Robert was a 3. Those are hits. We don't know what rate. They might let Reed walk next year. Savion Williams, I know it was rookie year, but
he's a 3, 3rd rounder.
They got to start turning some of these players into perennial starters.
Imagine my surprise when I kick over to Savion Williams' bio page and it tells me he's 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wow. He better have been good at jump balls when he was in college at 6'5". He's like a basketball player out there on the field. We put it on the Infinity Exteriors poll between those two young wide receivers who are both getting drawing interest from other teams. If you had to trade one, who would it be? Let us know. 800-990-3776. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this.
Tired of always waking up exhausted? Dad bod starting to weigh on you? Are you finding it to get harder to get excited about basically anything? If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, it might not be that you're just getting older. I used to tell myself that all the time. But I found out hormones, metabolism, they were out of balance. So this new year, let's get back to the old you. I know you remember that guy, sharp at work, full of energy and fun. The one that people enjoyed being around, and that's where Mentality comes in. Again, these are some of the things I was telling myself until I went to Mentality and realized it didn't have to be that way. Mentality is not a macho, low-T bro clinic. They're human-centered. Their mission to figure out what's really going on in your body and your brain. Mentality starts by listening. They run real labs, explain your results in plain English, and it's not one size fits all. They build personalized, science-backed plans for you using hormone therapy and FDA-approved peptide treatments to help get your brain and body back on track. So stop doing what I did. Stop telling yourself and everyone else around you that you're fine, because it can be better. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. Reclaim the old you, the younger you, with mentality.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 43 slowing down right past Capitol Drive down towards Locust, and the northbound side of 4394. Bit heavy around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Back on the brakes from Lapham up to the base of the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, you've got backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side very heavy from almost 92nd Street all the way through the stadium interchange at 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 68. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 38. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway. Play Georgia Golf Club for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by March 31st. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You bid, they benefit. It's that simple. WTMJ's Kristen Bry here to tell you that WTMJ is hosting a silent auction for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. And the auction is live now. Bid on game-worn Giannis gear, a signed bat from Brewers slugger Andrew Vaughn, and a golf foursome at Morningstar Golf Club. Because nothing says victory like 18 holes you didn't have to win in a raffle. You score something amazing, local families get the diapers they desperately need. Auction closes Friday. Bid now at WTMJ.com/cares.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you could roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is it against the law to be a moron or no?
The law,
Not yet.
I texted this to Jen earlier. The law does protect some people from things that are called an attractive nuisance.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You know we've enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help us with our home projects. As you might know, my husband and I can't handle all of the things that come with home ownership. But you know who can? Our friends over at PCI. They've helped us through some jams. They've helped us with an entire remodel of our basement. We had Mike from Professional Construction Inc. over a few weeks ago. Got to show him the basement, how we're using it, the workout area, the arts and crafts area, the entertainment area. And he was like, wow, this really did improve your family's life. I said, yeah, it absolutely did. And they can do the same thing for you. Contact my friends over at PCI right now. They're offering a virtual interior design program, which means maybe you're not ready to go full bore, but maybe you're curious what it would look like. Well, they can give you photorealistic renderings, a mood board, a curated shopping list, all delivered directly to you. Learn more at professionalconstructioninc.com. It's professionalconstructioninc.com. Reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. Let's see. Phil says we have to keep Reed. I can't handle any more Savion Williams jet sweeps. Sam says send Wicks to Pittsburgh for some rotational defensive linemen. Oh, that would be fun. Wicks and maybe Rodgers. Maybe. Again, we're not sure what Rodgers' future is. He's not telling us. And then T. Flippin says, bye, Wicks. The 24-25 season, Reed looked good when Green Bay used him. Last year, Reed getting hurt pretty much was the season for him. I was hoping for more of an impact when he came back. So he is saying we have to hold on to Jaden Reed. Chew, between those two guys, you're on the Wicks train as well. If you had to trade one of them, you'd put Wicks up for sale?
Yeah, I forgot about Savion Williams. So, yeah, I would be... Yeah, perfectly fine trading Wicks because there's still a logjam there, you know. And
yeah, you've got needs at other positions, and
you got needs. You got big needs.
It's just so rare, Chew. Again, for us to see the way that we did with the Zaire Franklin for Colby Wooden trade, like player for player, just rarely happens in the NFL. It's usually player for draft pick. So. Again, in the rare instance that you can upgrade one of those other positions and you can find a trade partner. I just don't know. Again, maybe it's Pittsburgh, maybe because, again, they need wide receivers. But they could also get active in free agency.
Was this driven by Gannon? Because it's kind of uncharacteristic of Gutey to get rid of a young guy and sign a guy who's almost 30.
Maybe.
Just trying to fit pieces together, and after the evaluation. Because I thought Wooden, I mean, he's young. He was okay.
Yeah, he was fine. Like, would I hope that they could try to upgrade? I mean, he's the one we would be talking about. We're hoping they upgrade over. Because we know Devontae Wyatt starting at one defensive tackle. We were hoping you could upgrade, but he was still a good enough player where he's a rotational piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're still looking to upgrade at that position to get another starter. But now, like we've talked about with the offensive line, now that defensive tackle depth is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's more pressing than the corner situation.
100%.
Yeah, so now, I mean, that first pick, if they hold on to that the second pick.
Yeah, their first pick, which is in the second round.
Yeah, I would think it's going to be a D tackle. Josh, have you done a deep dive
on the draft?
Is this D line class pretty good, or?
I have not gone that deep into it yet. I've still been paying attention, but it's mostly the first round at this point. It's weird when the Packers don't have a first rounder.
Super weird.
You can't start to like look into who they might get, and then you deep dive on that specific position. Like trying to project who's going to be going when the Packers pick in the second round.
Couldn't agree more.
50 picks in.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I've heard stuff about certain positions and how good they are, and you can sort of see in free agency when teams start to overpay. That'll tell you what they think of
the draft
and the positions there. Like Malik Willis getting a big deal has a lot to do with basically Fernando Mendoza being really the only first round talent, even though those probably will be 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks taken.
Centers getting a lot of money kind of tells you what that looks like for the draft.
There's basically 2 guys, people that they think of starters. I do know that, of center, or potential starters at the center position.
So you mentioned something earlier, Josh, and I know we got to get to Brian Bulaga, who's going to join the show to talk about the offensive line moves. You mentioned something earlier about all in. And Brian Gutekunst's version of all in. When you start to add up these moves, you know, some of the ones that are for cap saving and, you know, the Xavier McKinney and Banks, and like when you start to add up the things that you've seen the Packers do so far, does your antenna go up? Are you going, something? Are the Packers maybe trying to make a run at Brian Gutekunst's version of all in with the things that you've seen them do? Are you kind of alert to that?
I'm certainly taking in the fact that Brian Gutekunst, when we were saying we need to start competing for championships here, he took that to mean himself as well. They've certainly been more aggressive and more active than I anticipated. I didn't anticipate them signing Sean Rhyan to as aggressive of a contract. Now, that some of that's dictated by the market, but they brought in another starter, and they're in conversations, and you're hearing trade rumors. It seems like they're trying to lift every single rock and see what do we got here and how can we get better and more competitive. Even though we think we have a good roster, if we add a piece or two here and it really changes things, now we're even better than we thought we were, or we're set up even better for a championship than we anticipated. Like, it seems like they're not just doing status quo. It seems like they're trying to, and with every trade you need a partner, so some things might not work out, but it seems like they're more involved in these conversations than I originally anticipated heading into offseason.
Well, I mean, you got to be involved in trade talks. Maybe somebody might be dumb enough to trade you Micah Parsons for 2 and a guy they're going to cut.
Right. That's certainly possible.
You got to ask. I mean, after
I
do think
they view we don't have a first pick, so if we can get one singular game changer, which would replace that first pick, now we're kind of replacing that in our own way.
I like that theory.
Yeah,
I do.
Like, we don't have that added influence of a first rounder who might come in, even though they don't typically. But
that's why I think a D tackle's in the mix. A big trade, and not just for a guy. Might not be Jalen Carter, but
like if you can trade that second round pick for something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason all this news is out there. They're telling the NFL we're open for business and we're trying to get something done here. They've been way too involved in trade stuff to not be.
Yeah, because it's not just one player.
Right.
It's multiple, multiple layers where they're obviously sniffing around.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We'll have Brian Bulaga joining us on the Yingling hotline right after this. Joshy, go ahead.
Are you looking for a weight loss option that works, a weight loss option that will stick? There comes a point where you know it's time to do something for yourself. I want real goals, real change, and I decided 2026 is the year I look and feel my best. I'm Josh DiMaggio, and I'm starting that journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've lost over 30 pounds at this point, having to buy some new pants because I'm already down a couple sizes. Doctor-developed, doctor-supervised program where people can lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, safely and naturally keep it off, using real food and proprietary natural and safe products to help patients reset their metabolism, control hunger and cravings naturally, and help their body burn fat and not muscle like GLP-1s do. No lifetime medications, no reoccurring supplies costs. This program is different. No intense workouts, no prepackaged meals, no counting calories, no drugs, surgery, or injections. Just a proven metabolic reset. Here's what you need to know. You need to go visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation, or you can call 262-235-3980. That's 262-235-3980. Milwaukee Weight Loss, the time is now.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays westbound 94 from about 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we got delays from just before 84th all the way past 68th. 794 eastbound just past the ramp from Lincoln Memorial Drive. We do have a crash off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Yeah. Mostly sunny and mild, a high of 68. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
At Wrangler, we know the essential question for any guy is, can I go like this? It could be date night, boys' night, work, or your nephew's school play. It could be anything. And the last thing you want to do is change. That's why Wrangler makes jeans, shirts, jackets, and tees that answer yes to life's essential question. You can go in Wrangler. Check out our latest styles today at Wrangler.com. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
At Saturn Lounge, we know. If your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Just jump on it.
That's what he did.
Chewy, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Slow down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
All right, before we get to Brian Bulaga, who is joining us on the Yuengling hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. Drink responsibly. Breaking news from Adam Schefter et al. I've seen all the insiders post it. Rashan Gary has in fact been dealt. Rashan Gary is going to the Dallas Cowboys. Packers finalizing a deal that sends Rashan Gary to the Cowboys. Adam Schefter reports Green Bay will receive a late round pick in 2027. So it doesn't benefit them necessarily this year from a pick standpoint, as we were just discussing some of the holes the Packers have to fill on their roster. But they will, as you know, Brian Gutekunst loves his picks, get a pick in return, get a pick in exchange for Rashan Gary. Joshy, your immediate reaction when you saw this news cross your computer just a few moments ago?
Frankly, pretty shocking because of all we know about the Green Bay Packers and their ability to cut him and not really take much of a cost, the amount of money they'll end up saving. So the fact they were able to find a trade partner in this, ostensibly somebody who's going to rework that contract, maybe even give him an extension, good on the Packers. Feel like we might have taken advantage of the Cowboys 2 years in a row now.
I hadn't thought about that. Chewy, do you like that we've now taken advantage of the Dallas Cowboys 2 years in a row?
I can't believe they took on the money, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so good for him. Can you send Kenny Clark back, maybe?
Spit on the hand.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Joining us now on the Yuengling hotline is Brian Bulaga, Super Bowl champ and teammate of ours here at Good Karma Brands, ESPN Milwaukee. Good morning, Brian. Your reaction to Rashan Gary going to the Cowboys, the Packers getting something for him. I suppose he can re-up that social media post he had from over the weekend, huh?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, I just found out just right now. I haven't been on my phone this morning, so this is news to me. Yeah, obviously good on Gutey to get something from it because it was going to be a release one way or the other, right? So at least he gets something out of it, and maybe he can, in 2027, package it for who knows, right? Like, it doesn't matter. But obviously getting something for him is a plus because he was going to be released most likely in the next few days anyway. So I wish him the best in Dallas, obviously. Like, maybe a restart of his career, new scenery will be beneficial to him. But overall for the Packers, you get something out of it when there was really nothing looking down the pipe that you were going to get. So good on them for that.
Brian, did you like the fact that they locked up Sean Rhyan for another 3? And they're kind of solid at cost. They got a solid 5. Did you think that was a good signing?
Listen, I've been talking that if you brought Sean Rhyan back on a deal, whether it was a year or 2, I think it was going to be good, right? He played 9 games at center. There's some body of work out there to see, and there were some positive things that he did, right, on tape. There were some good things, and he performed well at times, and obviously the couple snaps that everyone remembers is going to be the thing that sticks out or the bad snaps. But that's a guy working in at center that's essentially brand new to the position, and those things are going to happen. Unfortunately, they were in games. I was surprised by the amount of money that he was able to get for 9 games, right? That's pretty impressive for himself and his agent to really hold the Packers to the fire on that. Because honestly, unless Green Bay was going to go into the draft and find a center, they're going to have to hit the market. And with the market, most likely that number would have been much higher than that, if I'm guessing, because then you're looking at the likes of Linderbaum and things like that, which that's going to go in the 20s, right? 20 million, something like that. And I don't think that's for the Packers. I think it's a little too rich for the Packers' blood, in my opinion. So I think Sean Rhyan can be a good center. I really do. I think he showed things that he can be a good center, but I'm just surprised it was for that $11 million or whatever it may be. Or I don't know how the contract works itself out, but that's a great number for him, obviously. So what it does now, right? And obviously, I think they reworked Banks's deal, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think I read that the other night. It opens up some cap space, but I still think with that, what Gutey has said is I'm returning essentially this entire offensive line besides most likely Rasheed Walker. So I was good with everything besides obviously the left tackle position, which we know is going to be changed. So whatever we thought about that offensive line's performance last year, can it improve? I hope so, but that's essentially what we're setting ourselves up for is a run-it-back type situation with this group.
Brian Bulaga joins us right now on the Yuengling Hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially available in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Blue, when you were playing, how many guys would you feel comfortable with in terms of, okay, if they have to play – okay, we're good with X amount of guys? Because right now I would say with this signing of Sean Rhyan, the number's just at 5 for the Packers. So even though they have their starters, it feels like the work's not done.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be depth added in a major way. And I think competition needs to be added. So you're bringing in guys that can play, because I think if you just allow to be okay with your 5 here, which have had injury issues, right? I mean, and obviously I'm no stranger to that, so I understand how it goes. But when you look at kind of what Banks went through, right, all last year, up and down, on and off, Zach Tom's coming back from, again, I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I have to assume he had a patella knee surgery, which is a big surgery. That's not like a little clean out. That's a major surgery by all means. So you're looking at this group, and yeah, you're comfortable with 5, but we saw last year how many guys played. At least a combination of 6, 7, maybe the 8th guy, because the tackles were rotating in and out, and Jordan Morgan was going from here to there, and obviously he's going to be slated in at left tackle. So I think they need to add depth in a major way, and I get like that's kind of in multiple positions on this team. But if you look at kind of the history over the last few years of how this line has worked out throughout the year, there's been injuries, and it hasn't been like, oh, he got taken out of the game in the third quarter and he came back next week. They've been long injuries, unfortunately. So I really feel like you need to find linemen, whether that's going to be in the market that you can pull for a one-year deal, or if it's in the draft, that you can find a guy that you really like that can compete at the guard position, potentially at the tackle position, and push guys. Make this a competitive training camp, because that's if you watch them on tape last year, if you're just saying, yep, that was good enough, then we have issues. And it's not good enough, because Jordan Love took some major headshots last year that just aren't good. We can't have that consistently. That's not something that you want your $55 million man taking on every week. So this line needs to improve. It needs to get competition brought into it to kind of maybe bring out the best of some of these guys.
Brian, why do you think there was such a regression? Because the year before they were a top 10, top 7 offensive line, and I believe this year they fell to in the 20s?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, is it just one guy, Banks, and then moving Eldon Jenkins? Because that's a pretty big regression from that group.
Oh, it's a huge regression. And I mean, obviously you move Elton inside the center, that didn't pan out, and then he gets hurt. So then you can't make adjustments midseason to maybe potentially move Elton to that right guard position and then slide Sean Rhyan into the center position, right? That you don't get to do that. So the line now has to kind of shuffle around even more. But I mean, obviously with Banks, he comes in, he plays, he gets injured. Now there's a rotation in at that left guard position, and no one ever really gets set. And then you're bringing in Jordan Morgan to play a right tackle position against Myles Garrett. That doesn't work. Then they flip him over to left tackle because there's an injury. And to me, I think that was the biggest thing, was the initial move of Elton, right? It just didn't work. Mm-hmm. And when you make a big move like that and move a guy that, listen, I think Elton's a really good guard. I think he's a Pro Bowl guard. I think he's going to go to another team and most likely play at a high level again, if I had to take a guess. And when you move a guy like that out of a core position, it doesn't work, it's gonna have its repercussions, and it did, right? And then injuries started to stack up. Zach Tom missed a bunch of times, so now you're playing new guys at right tackle, where he's normally your cornerstone, and you can rely on him, game in and game out to block one-on-one, and you don't have to slide the line over there. You can send help in other areas and chip in other areas. And when you're not able to do that, it exposes a lot of things, unfortunately. You can't say that every guy on the line is going to be perfect or Pro Bowl level. That's unrealistic in today's NFL. But you expect a certain level to be maintained, and it just wasn't there. And from pass protection, that suffered. I mean, I think you look at, obviously the run game was very, very, we'll just say nowhere near what it was the year prior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just call it what it is. And to me, that's what this group needs, is a good run game to protect them in the pass game. And when you're not able to do that, and then you're throwing the ball 30, 35 times a game, things are going to be exposed. And that's kind of what happened. And unfortunately, they're relying on this same group, minus Rasheed Walker, insert Jordan Morgan, to improve and get better. And we'll see, because that takes a second round or a second-year player, Belton, to really make a big jump and second-year leap. And obviously for Banks to stay healthy and continue to play kind of the way he did towards the end of the year, and Sean Rhyan to improve at the center position. And you hope you get back a healthy Zach Tom and he's able to bounce back from that. And then the question mark of, is Jordan Morgan the left tackle? Like, that's another question. And we won't have answers until we see week 1, how they roll out and how they play.
Brian Bulaga joining us on the Yingling hotline here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. If you're just joining us this morning, you may have not seen the news that Rashan Gary has in fact been traded to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a late round 2027 draft pick.
It ain't that late. Ian Rappaport saying it's a 4th rounder in 2027.
Oh, terrific. Which, again, I had some people who were saying, it's a third-round pick, it's a third-round pick. No, we were aware that it was a late-round 2027 draft pick, but again, apparently Ian Rappaport has the details that it is a fourth-round pick. Brian, you mentioned Rasheed Walker. Before we let you go, I have seen some campaigning that the Packers should keep Rasheed Walker. Of course, he is a free agent.
Because she's been listening to Chewy.
People other than Chewy who have insisted they should keep Rasheed Walker. Could I sell you on that? Would you buy that if they could get him at a decent price? A decent $19 to $20 million maybe if he reaches free agency is what he's projected to get. If they could get him for less than that, would you try to keep Rasheed Walker as that sort of, in case of emergency, break glass tackle?
I unfortunately don't. I don't think at this point. No, It's not going to be feasible one way or another, right? I mean, he's not going to accept a backup role. That's for one thing. So he's not going to take that or take that type of money when the other type of money is going to be out there, right? You said 19 to 20. Whether that, how that comes to fruition, I'm not sure. But he's not going to accept the backup role, and he shouldn't, right? He's been starting at the position for a while, and at least in my time, I get the cap's like $300 million, and I don't even know what that means anymore because that's insane to me. I mean, I understand everything. Everything is, they claim, it's just based on the times, and when you were there, it was like, okay, I got it. But
it was 75 when I was there.
Yeah,
someone's going to get that per year soon too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be that way here pretty soon, but you just can't pay, 3 to 4 guys the max is like 3. You can pay 3 guys on an offensive line, and then you have to be able to have draft picks and things like that step up and play, right? So Sean Rhyan's been paid, Zach Tom's been paid, Aaron Banks has been paid. And when that's the case, I don't think that adding another tackle in for, we'll just say the $20 million. I just don't think it's feasible in how you're going to, allocate resources to other positions because we need defensive tackle. We need corner. We need things like that. Now, if you want to go to the draft and get it, sure, but there's other needs that need to be addressed besides just the offensive line. I get it's a big need, but if you go and pay 4 guys from a group.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
All right, well, we were going to take a break anyway. Good stuff, though, from Brian Bulaga. Really great to have him join the show to talk offensive line and the moves the Packers made over the weekend. Again, if you missed the breaking news, it is that Rashan Gary has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people celebrating it. Best morning ever. Greatest news I've ever heard. I mean, it is a little hyperbolic.
2027 fourth? We had a fourth-round pick?
Yeah.
God, Jerry's the best.
We need to write him a thank you letter, just like we did Joe Shane.
Oh, like as a team, from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and our loyal listeners?
He's
brought us so much
joy. He's lifting the Packers single-handedly.
Dearest Jera.
Bigger contributor to the Green Bay Packers in the past 2 years, Jerry Jones or Matt LaFleur?
How about them Cowboys?
Josh, you are such an agitator.
People are asking. Me.
People are asking. People are also asking about the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show. It's presented by Old Fashioned Golf. It's back. It's been completely reimagined. Taking place March 13th through the 15th at Mosh Performance Center in Franklin. Going to be Wisconsin's ultimate golf party. Get your VIP tickets now for $50 at GreaterMilwaukeeGolfShow.com. Those VIP tickets are great value because you get a dozen golf balls, a round of golf, and much more. Right now, we want to send you to the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show with 2 general admission tickets. Caller 6, 800-990-3776 gets 2 general admission tickets to the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show presented by Old Fashioned Golf.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Text Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
With your Saganaw County Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. The Golden Eagles wrapped up the regular season with a huge upset win over number 4 UConn on Saturday afternoon. Senior Chase Ross played a huge role with 2 big threes down the stretch as he was honored for senior day.
Into the corner, Chase Ross, heat check,
Chase
good.
Ross,
back-to-back. Heat check, 3, good, Chase Ross. Didn't I just say that? It keeps getting better.
The Golden Eagles will look to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament, where they will face Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiak Jr., John Saganiak Jr., Saganiak Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiak Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season.
Marquette came away with a huge upset win on Senior Day, taking down number 4 UConn at Pfizer Forum on Saturday. Freshman Nigel James Jr. did it all for the Golden Eagles, finishing with 19 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds.
James takes on everybody, throws it up toward the basket, it goes in.
Senior Bedengold also came up big with a huge putback dunk down the stretch to seal the game.
James in the lane to the basket, layup no good,
big
dunk
goal.
follow
Wow.
good, Bedengold the dunk follow, remember that.
Marquette will look to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament as they will take on Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But remember he said his birthday?
Yeah.
Maybe we get a little freaky.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, look at our horny little boy. Good for him. Like, everybody's so supportive of Giannis, they just kind of look past it.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, if you missed the breaking news, you're just joining us this morning, maybe just getting in your car, headed to work, Rashan Gary is in fact being sent to the Dallas Cowboys for a 2027, it is now confirmed by Adam Schefter, 4th round pick, which...
Thank you, Jerry.
Which has our guys celebrating for getting something in exchange for Rashan Gary when the general sentiment, the general thought was that he would be walking away for nothing.
I mean, just think about some of the good 4th-round picks that have played for this franchise. You could potentially get one of those guys for Rashan Gary, getting to unload Rashan. You got a 4th-round pick? I didn't think this was possible. I didn't realize we lived in a world where Rashan Gary could get traded for a 4th-round pick. But I'm so glad we are.
I was preemptively annoyed with how long this was inevitably going to carry out for.
Right?
Because they're going to be forced to trade him, and next thing I know, he's on the Dallas Cowboys.
Him and Kenny Clark reunited.
We'll see about Kenny. Oh, he might be
not long for this world. Will the Italian Roush will certainly be discussing this and all things green and gold this morning on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Eastbound 94, we do have a little bit of a backup coming out of